Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, oh boy, I love coming back here. It's like an old homecoming, one of the iconic spots in all of South Florida, celebrating this year their 75th year in business since 1949. I'm talking about the one and only Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. We're here. Jeff Defo DeForest and Jack Studiale.
Hi, everybody.
Proprietor. How's it going today, Jack?
Good. We it's pretty standard. It's Tuesday, although it's February. So with February, we're coming around. We have all our snowbirds and as well as our regulars, and they're in the back in the kitchen prepping everything we need for tonight's business.
Peak season. Defo, how are you doing today? And it's been a while since you've I've been in here,
Acres.
Right? Yeah.
You know what? I love this place. I was thinking I must have started coming here with Johnny Jarris in like 1990 something, early 90s. So over 30 years ago. And then you think about any restaurant, any business that's been in existence here for 75 years in South Florida. That is not an easy period of time to go ahead and
it's not.
evolve all the way through and still be at the point where you're a classic destination. Really, just an amazing accomplishment here by the Studiale
That's nice of you to say.
Yeah,
but and the longevity has it. We can't ever take it for granted. We have to make sure every day is a new day. We don't get complacent. Keep making changes, adjusting things according to the industry, the social aspects, and the people's wants and needs.
Yeah.
But we're always evolving. We're doing things different and trying to keep up with the we're not the new fad that's going to peter out in 12, 15 months.
You give people consistency and comfort, but it's funny that you use that word complacency, because I was actually on my morning walk along the beach, another beautiful day, Defo. That word came into my mind today. It's like, I always want to start doing, you don't ever want to rest on your laurels. You always want to kind of keep striving and doing new things. And in that vein, we're going to be featuring today on the program some new menu items that you have here. You got this butternut squash ravioli that somebody posted on the Let's Eat South Florida group a couple of weeks ago, and I was immediately, my eyebrows raised. I said, I haven't seen that one before. And then
you were blown away by that seafood marsala that we had.
Well, that
time.
surf and turf marsala has been on the menu for a while. They sometimes have a kind of a full seafood like Fra Diavolo special, and today we're going to be having a shrimp scampi. We're going to have a pork chop, which is something that's been on the menu, I guess, for a while, but a lot of people overlook it. And
there's a lot of competition on the menu. And the pork chop seems to get lost in the background a lot of times, but they're delicious. They're Duroc pork chops, which are it's a special breed, and they just come out delicious. They're tender. They're not injected. They're naturally tender. So it's just a great product. And you start with that great product. You don't get, you don't want to buy a lesser product thinking that you can lower your food costs. There's other ways to lower your food costs, but you sure don't cut corners. That's the kiss of death.
Got to keep the quality up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we'll get to this later on. We don't want to start with the news of changes coming up, but I did want to talk about, first of all, that pork chop, I have eaten it at the bar during one of the my many sojourns here to Tropical Acres, and sometimes I come with a date, sometimes I come with a family for a occasion, and oftentimes I'm in here hitting the bar for the great happy hour that you have from 4:30 to 6:30 every day. And people come in here at 4 o'clock, like it opens at 4, but the happy hour pricing doesn't start to 4:30. But they are grabbing their seats, and like getting their waters, and like they are like just salivating over watching their clocks. It's kind of like the first race post time at Gulfstream for.
You got to get there before the race starts, and that's a big key. But No, I mean, always a reason to celebrate here at Tropical Acres. That's the other thing. But I have you been getting messages? I was thinking about this. I might have seen it in a dream where Sam Studiale was actually getting in touch with you somehow through seance or whatever, and saying, "Hey, you got to jack the prices up a little bit. I mean, let's get into modern times, Jack." And yet you don't do it. It is pretty incredible when you think about the longevity factor, and then how you've been able to manage keeping these prices so reasonable over the years is really a phenomenal accomplishment.
Yeah, you knew my dad, and he was he was old school, but in a wonderful way. Old school is not bad. That's a good thing. And he was so conscious about what the customers would perceive, and he wanted to be everything to everyone. And realistically, you can't be. But he was careful about raising prices. I'm a little more aggressive, but I'm a little analytical too. And I'm always doing the numbers, and I'm looking at my food cost soar in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make adjustments to it. We don't want to increase prices unnecessarily because we're going to alienate some of the customers.
Look, the modern times, the reality is, you don't exist in your own vacuum.
Yeah.
So obviously you sometimes have to kind of do a little gentle nudging of the pricing but if you look around, I mean, it's still an incredible value because let's say, all right, and Defo always rags on me because I usually do get the same 2 or 3 items every time because they're so good and so consistent and they are such good value.
For the freebie.
No.
Which,
filet mignon,
very respectful of that, Jack.
filet mignon, prime rib. But you look around at what you're charging for your, high quality filet mignon, barrel cut, beautiful 10-ounce piece of meat that is expertly grilled, or that prime rib, which every time somebody posts a picture of it, it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then I look at like comps, it's like, what home sales, what are the home prices around in your neighborhood? Like the comps of what the similar pieces of meat around at least 50 to 100% higher. So you guys are doing something, right?
Regarding the prime rib, a funny story. I love prime rib.
Yeah.
I don't often eat here because I'm busy. The staff, we all sit down. Everybody in the staff sits down at 4 o'clock, 4 to 4:30. Everybody eats. 4:30, you're at your station, and I eat with them, but I eat what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want, I felt like a piece of prime rib. We were going out, and we went to this particular restaurant that's known for it, and I was so disappointed. We don't want to say the name.
Yeah,
I was disappointed, but I noticed it's an exposed kitchen. I noticed the type of oven they used to cook the prime rib with, and I couldn't stop myself. I had to go back there and ask them.
You pulled a Mayo.
He pulled a Mayo.
Is that what he does?
He always has to say
Every
something.
restaurant, he has to give a
I'll
tip.
pull the owners. I don't go on blast
No,
on
he doesn't
social
do it on
media
there.
or
Oh,
let's
look
see.
out.
But I'll pull
but
the owner aside and say,
said-
this might be a little better if you did it this way, if you use this
Well,
type of
I was
technique.
trying to be as gracious as I could.
Right.
I spoke to the expediter on the line who was in a tie, so I assumed he had some kind of managerial skill. And
Smells good.
I said, I see you use that oven, but I don't know if you're using it properly. And maybe that was the key that I turned him off. Because I said that Alto Sham, you cook it overnight at a low temperature, and then it holds for another 8 hours before it's even finished cooking. So it's a 12-hour process from start to finish, and that's why it's so tender.
Yeah. Oh, you can
And
tell that
the
it's
meat
low
I had
and
was
slow.
good,
Yeah.
but it was not tender, and that was the reason.
Right.
They
And
just weren't using it
did
properly.
they respect your expertise? Did they know who you were? Or
I gave him he says, he was kind of like this deer in the head. He was looking at me like, who the hell are you? And I gave him my car, and I told him, I said,
you are the master
this
of
is
prime
meant,
rib. You have
this is
a
helpful.
PhD in prime rib.
Yeah. And I gave him my card, and I said, look, it's just for your own best interest. Do what you want. But other than that, I had a great evening. Thank you very much.
You're doing it a long time, doing it right with the prime rib.
I don't know why I was steering on a competition in a different direction, because they were going the wrong way.
People that are going there to begin with have already, probably realized that they're never going to find anything better than this here at Tropical
Thank
Acres.
you.
Meanwhile, we've had some food hit the table. Joe brought it out. Son Joe. We've got Jackson waiting in the wings. I think what we're going to do is like one at a time.
That's fine.
We'll have Joe come on for a segment and kind of maybe introduce some of these dishes that you brought out. For a second,
you've been talking about for a while now.
I was suckered for a second. I thought it was some clam chowder, and then I see no, underneath this beautiful creamy Alfredo sauce is
This
What
is
is it?
our butternut squash ravioli in an Alfredo.
Nice.
We mainly picked it up for our vegetarian option, and it's a lot of our other guests have tried it, and it stayed on the menu because it is such a
It's a
really
talk of the town right now.
balanced
this
item.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Well,
amazing.
Marinara sauce also, if you'd rather have
there's
it.
Oh, yeah,
two
marinara.
options. One is the feta. I'm sorry, the Alfredo sauce.
Are you in, Jim?
And then we've got the marinara. What's the usual order? Is it leaning one way or the other in terms of?
I would say the Alfredo is more popular, but for the people that don't want any cream, the marinara, especially for the vegetarian, the strict vegetarians will take the marinara.
Now, I love, of course, you guys, last name Studiale, you have Italian heritage, and you guys do a nice job with your, the surf and turf marsala pasta that we had last time.
Fantastic,
was excellent. Yeah. And I had never had that before, and now it's become on my rotation when I come in here. I sometimes get that. And again, we got the shrimp scampi, right?
Yes.
You have to get involved.
Is that a big seller too? Also,
oh yes, yep. We have our
This is
jumbo
delicious,
shrimp
by
in
the way.
there. Your traditional scampi, Parmesan, garlic, parsley, and just the shrimp sets it off. I mean, it does its own talking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic dish that people are, if they are trying to maybe avoid the red meats or limit the red meat consumption, you can come in and you got all these seafood options here. Jack, you guys sell a lot of the fish and the stone crab?
Yes,
stone crabs right now, they're in season, so we're selling quite a bit of that.
Yep.
We have fresh fish every day. Right now, is it grouper or snapper?
No, we're running the grouper.
And I know Defo's better half the Mustang always likes the scallops here.
Scallops
right?
are
fantastic.
really, really perfect
Yeah.
the way they do them here. Underrated, I think, the seafood, because people think of Tropical Acres more as a steak and a red meat type of establishment. But seafood's always been dynamite here.
Yeah.
I mean, known for the lobster special, naturally, but all of the other things that you guys offer, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, steak is the priority, and people think of us, and we are a steakhouse, Tropical Acres Steakhouse, and so that's kind of goes without saying.
But Mayo has a thing like don't go to a steakhouse and order the seafood.
No, I didn't say that. I said you always play to a restaurant's strengths, and so like for me.
Yeah.
When I come here, what's the strength? The prime rib, because this man, he's got a doctorate in prime rib.
Yeah.
They call him Dr. Prime Rib.
Yeah.
And when you order it and it comes out with that beautiful red ruby.
He goes into Prime 112 and tells them how to cook the prime rib. It's
My
fantastic,
father,
yeah.
that's like my father-in-law used to me once. I went out with my in-laws and my wife, and we went to way back, Pat Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
And they were big in steaks, and I had something other than that. And he says to me, I mean, I'm newly married, and he almost belittles me. He says, "You should know better. You don't order something like that in a steakhouse. You order a steak."
Yeah, that's him.
And I've bothered him. I've teased him about it ever since.
Well, but
God
you know
rest
what
his soul. Great,
you know what I do
wonderful
now,
man.
Jack, because it's me. I now order everything and just come in with a
There
group,
you go.
and then you just split a lot of different dishes. And I guess after taking a bite of this creamy, beautiful butternut squash ravioli with the Alfredo sauce, tinged with a little bit of sweetness. So
that's the butternut inside the squash.
Yeah, the butternut squash has that sweet edge to it.
Sure does.
So what I would say, this would be my play, Defo, and you can go ahead and mock me if you must. But
this was a guy who was at Skyline Chili on Saturday.
I would say instead
by
of
choice.
I love Skyline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
I love Skyline.
Yeah,
there you go.
And again, I took a relative there, an Italian relative, and he said it was sacrilegious. You're putting American grated cheese on
the
chili,
mild
on
cheddar
pasta. What do you?
I rest my case.
He wouldn't eat it.
Now, in Yiddish, we call that a shanda, where it's like a sin to do these things, but it's not really chili. It's Greek meat sauce that you put on top of spaghetti, and it's spiced with the cinnamon and nutmeg and some weird things. But I just, every so often, and it happened to me this past Saturday, Jack, much to Defoe's chagrin, I just woke up and I was like, must get Skyline. And I went over there and I had myself a coney dog.
No, there's
and
one out
four-way.
west, right?
Yeah, it's out on University Drive now. On,
the one
Sunrise.
on Federal Highway 26, right by my house, closed.
Oh, yeah.
And I was jonesing. I go,
was
oh my
Ken
God,
Booker.
what am I going to do? What am I going to
It was
do?
destined to become an oil change place. A quickie oil change.
But it's been like that forever.
But yeah, they never really.
They didn't even
transpired.
change the pans. It's just the same stuff. No, but I'm glad that you like it.
I
and
love
again,
it.
it's a different type of
I have
chili.
a three-way. I get a couple of the
Yeah.
dogs.
So, but the bottom line is here. I would say now here would be my play, because I love your cream spinach, and again,
that
it's
coming
one
up.
of
That's
the
awesome,
dishes that people find. I guess some people, I love it, and it's basically I would prefer getting like the cream spinach with my steak, my prime rib here, and then now you have an opening to get a butternut squash for the table and kind of split that as your starchy side if you want a little bit of carbs to go along with your spinach and your prime rib. And
Great
then
suggestion.
that would be that would be the play for me.
That's flat out delicious. I mean, and this was started for vegetarian considerations.
Yes.
Anybody would be in love with this dish, I would think.
Well, now we
Just-
got our
just perfectly done.
some of our stars coming out now. Our prime rib that you guys were just talking about.
Yeah.
We have our famous hash browns that we do here in house.
Look at this thing, Mike Mayo. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, you gave him a good piece.
Now,
Yeah.
Lubie's going to take a picture for social media. Joe, what would you describe temperature wise? Because I would say I would call that perfect, but in terms of like on the rare to
I'm going to say
well
medium
done.
rare.
Yeah, I would say that is our, it's because with that prime rib, you have to get it above that certain breaking point, that 130, just so it starts breaking down. So that's going to be your like ideal medium rare right there. Like
Looks
it's
perfect.
I would almost call that like
perfect.
It is perfect.
Yeah,
Medium
that
rare.
would be.
I would call it perfect.
We're going to
Now,
change that on the menu from medium rare to perfect.
Perfect medium rare.
Well,
that's the way to do it. Yeah.
there are the temperature police out there on Let's Eat, where if somebody orders a medium well steak, and some people do that for health considerations or just personal preference, or they have no
Carve your
taste
piece.
at all. But I say everybody is entitled to the steak the way they want it. But if you really know about meat, this is the way to get
Yes.
it.
This is the way to do it here. Practically just heals right off.
And
then
this is a first. You have Defo actually like
No, I'm
digging
giving
in
this to you.
before me. No. You don't have
Get
to
that
give it to
deco
me.
right there.
Oh, you're going to give me the
there.
spinalis,
Yeah.
that edge, that little fatty
Perfect.
ribbon.
Yeah, it's
Oh
perfect.
my God, it's dripping. It's like it's
That
Perfect piece.
the spinalis is awesome.
and this is something that true professionals know. The spinalis is describe it. What is
Yeah.
that?
The
Jack?
spinalis is the muscle that goes along the top of the prime rib. And then the rest that's left there is the eye. But the spinalis or the decal is
Yeah.
that
it's laced and intertwined with fat, and fat equals
it flavor.
flavor. And
now on the chuck end, you'll get a larger spinalis. We're about halfway through the prime rib here. So it's a small
oh, give me 2
spinalis.
hours. We'll get all the
Okay.
That
And
is perfectly
on
done.
the
Wow.
loin end, you're not going to have a decal or a spinalis. And then we get requests. I'd like a chuck end prime rib because they know what they want. They want that long. It could be 5 inches and about a 3/4 inch wide piece, and it's just delicious. It's tender,
That's amazing.
flavor. It's got everything
Wow.
going
Yeah.
for it. A little more fatty, but and people
dunking that horseradish cream sauce
There you
here.
go.
in the
That's true.
business,
Yeah.
there's rookies, and they don't know. They see fat and they get freaked out. I don't want fat.
Oh, no, you want
But they don't know any
Sure.
better.
Mm.
We could try to educate them, but some
Yeah.
people just are not able to educate.
Well,
I don't,
you know-
you can't get any better than that, Mike Mayo. You really can't. I don't know.
Did you have a piece?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
where you could go to taste anything that was, any more well done, perfectly done,
Yeah.
rather than well done. But I mean, just amazingly prepared.
Joe,
Yeah.
do you know like how many orders of prime rib do you usually sell on a given night? Let's say on a Friday
actually,
or Saturday.
This has been a topic lately. We've been we adjusted our menu quite a few months ago, and we have the ability to increase your prime rib size.
You sell it by the ounce now.
Oh,
It's kind
nice.
of like when you go in, for buy shopping for gold. You buy the carrot, but here you got prime rib.
Yeah,
You
6 ounce, 10 ounce, 14. But
That's called the
The-
queen, king, and
the prime rib cut,
prime rib
and
is
then
the
the
smaller one.
regular cut is the 10 ounce,
Look
and
out.
then the king cut is the
It's
14.
And then you
Right.
can
But
increase.
you can add
any
it.
after
You
that.
can add ounces, and I mean, we get people that how they eat it. Well, it's up to them and their doctor, but they'll order 20-ounce piece, so they're getting a 14 plus 6 more.
Right.
It's huge.
And now what we have here is the Duroc pork chop, right?
Duroc
Yes, it's
bone-in
14
pork
ounce
chop.
bone-in
Yep.
pork chop.
Yeah.
That is. Look at that. Defo. Are you a pork chop fan?
Love them. Yeah.
Because it's the other white meat. It is relatively healthy and lean and meat, and
Yeah.
and you guys, I guess, like you said, it
trimmed real close. There's no fat.
and you
on the
brine
perimeter.
it, or it comes brined?
No.
It's,
It's not injected or not brined. It's
Oh, it's
just
and it's on the searing plate.
Wow.
This is one of those. They have your special. What do you call these places?
Sizzler.
It's just a sizzler.
a sizzler platter.
And look, so you gonna get those like little bit more well done.
I think you go
crispy
big bite
edges.
on that. I really do.
Well, I'm not gonna do
No?
that. I'm gonna cut it right in the middle.
It is so juicy.
Look at that.
Every time
And-
it still amazes
that.
me.
Ew,
how
cooked
God.
perfect.
Wow, that looks
Wow.
perfect.
And like for people who say, "Oh, it's a little underdone
I'm
for
even
me,"
impressed.
That looks fantastic.
if for people who say it's underdone, the beauty of the sizzler is you could like kind of finish it
Yeah.
off a little bit.
You do your own little
like
hibachi on the table.
10 seconds each
Yeah.
side. You want a little
Well,
bit
that's
of
me,
that
sure.
there? That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
you,
that's
That is
Defo.
beautiful.
All right, beautiful.
It's a beautiful piece of
Dripping,
pork.
juicy.
Am I
I'm gonna-
allowed to?
Yes, you can
Partake?
partake.
Rick and
It's
Jack
your
on
it.
restaurant. I'll give you the whole freaking
You own
piece
the
if
joint,
you
yeah.
want.
Man, I'm hungry.
And
And
the
meanwhile,
side of that
here,
cream
you want me to
spinach
give
is
you a
amazing too.
little finishing
Oh,
job
there you're
there?
searing it.
Got a
Oh
little
man.
seared, so lock in the juices. Lubie is looking on in horror because he's seeing what he thought was going to be his lunch
Oh.
slowly
What about this
disappear. But maybe if we ask Joe real nice, he'll bring out another piece later. But
We could
I'm
definitely-
going in here, and wow, look at this thing. This is beautiful.
That is really great.
And again, it's something that's it's a sleeper item.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people overlook it.
Wow.
And I would say if you do come in here regularly, which I do, and I come in here sometimes with Val, and Jack says he sees Michelle and Natalia, my daughter, comes in here all the time. And it's great because Natalia is 18 years old. She's college bound. And when people on Let's Eat say, "Oh, it's, you know, all you see is a bunch of old people with walkers," I say nothing could be further from the truth. And
Absolutely.
I see,
Really is.
are you seeing more younger couples and
By
date
far.
nights?
Oh, it's
like-
been that. That's such an.
It's
I don't know how
bizarre
to even
stigma.
say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
people
mean,
came up with.
they mean it in a derogatory
Yeah.
fashion, but I'm looking
People-
around every night of the week. I'm
Mhm.
looking around saying, I don't know. There's 4 couples over there. Looks like they're their first date,
Mm-hmm.
and then family over here, and then business people from the hotel.
Yeah, you come
It's
here at
quite-
6 o'clock, take a picture of the dining room, and
It's
yeah.
a cosmopolitan. It's a lot of different
No,
age groups.
it's a beautiful
Yeah.
mix
Mhm.
of
It
ages,
is.
and you know, like you say, you see some ugly ageist comments out there, and you know, Defo, I would
Mostly
never
made
be,
by you.
I would never
Yeah.
be ageist.
um,
I often rib Defo about his
I am all,
septuagenarian
yeah, no, I'm all.
status, but I also, you know, then I'm reminded that
He's younger than
tropical, yeah,
in
he's
spirit.
younger in spirit.
Yeah.
And he's also younger than Tropical Acres, but this place is
Barely.
ageless
Yeah,
and timeless because all you do is just keep cranking out the hits and adding to it. I mean, this butternut squash, great side dish. You could even have it, order it as, I guess, like make it as an appetizer and split it a few
you. Yeah,
ways
you could.
to go along with some of the other things. Oh, you're dropping in the beautiful hash brown skillet.
Got to throw in some of the hash browns.
I
For
got
sure.
this. It's kind of like a big potato pancake.
What a
potato latkes.
phenomenal.
I got 2 forks, 1 knife,
array of
and
food.
7 different
It's not
things
going in fast
on.
enough for you there, Mike.
Fantastic.
You know me. Oh, and I got some cream spinach.
Yeah,
here.
you
I
have to
love
try the
this.
cream spinach.
Look, it's laced with nutmeg, right?
Yeah.
And some people find it a little strong. I don't.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that it goes with the spinach, right?
Yeah, you can hardly. You really have to
really
the nuance
Mhm.
of the
Mm.
spice. You can hardly tell it's there, and that's the trick of seasoning. You don't want to really be able to pick it out. It just has to enhance the flavor.
but it's just got it's got some body to it, which is it's nice. It's not just a watery down, spinach item that you could find at
What I like to
some other
do
places.
is do the combo bites where you get a little bit of the creamy cream spinach along with some of the crispy hash browns.
It's very
You know,
strange.
do
like
do
this.
a-
Yeah.
A double side bite there. And then, if you really want to do it
Watch
deluxe,
it.
you
I
could
mean,
throw a little
it's bizarre.
of the prime rib on top. So
Yeah.
you kind of have like that full Wonder Graham Slam
Yeah,
bite.
here-
Want a
here
couple of
goes.
pieces of bread? You can put that in.
Mm-mm.
No.
After I'm dribbling things here, but hey, while I'm stuffing my mouth,
This is a sophisticated food critic from the Sun Channel. We keep thinking we have to remind ourselves of that. Yeah.
we got to say hi to Terry out there. I understand that
Hi,
she
sweetheart.
sometimes watches the show.
Oh, she's a
yeah.
a regular.
Oh yeah,
She fills me in on what's going on.
Oh,
She'll
good.
call me and say, he's talking to so and so and so and so. We got to go to that place. I said, okay, babe, just make a list.
Well, that's the thing. We love getting around
Yeah.
town, and tomorrow we're going to be actually promoting this new, it's a upcoming event with the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival is having an international whiskey deli celebration that you're going to be having some pit masters, barbecue people. That's going to be a fun time. We're going to be up in Coral Springs, then Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. So we do get around. We love spotlighting.
Another great place.
Gilbert, great family. Lenore and her son Richie and daughter Beth, they run the place. I love these family-run places because you can really feel the pride.
Aren't a lot left.
I know, and it's
you remember the Sea Grill, Harris Imperial House.
Yep. You can rattle them all off. Yeah. And they're a dying breed.
The Cave.
Because the restaurant game
Old Florida Seafood.
Bob.
Yep.
They were
it's not for the faint of heart because it's
even
a
the
tough,
Round Table.
It's a tough game these
There were
days.
so many independents. George at the Bavarian Village. Family-run businesses.
That
was in the 80s, 90s, and then of course the world changed.
They ran Martha's and Bavarian Village, and I miss those places too because they had some excellent food. But meanwhile, well, let me just put in a little plug for the VLFoodWine.com because if you want to check out that upcoming March 27th is going to be the International Whiskey Day event down at House on the River, on the New River in Fort Lauderdale. But it's going to be a couple of visiting pitmasters, and one of them we're going to be talking to both of them tomorrow on tomorrow's show. What you want to do is go online to VLFoodWine.com, get your tickets now for that event, or you can get your early bird tickets, very, very low pricing for next year's grand tasting. That's going to be in January. The Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival keeps growing, keeps getting better. VLFoodWine.com. We're going to be at that March 27th event, and it's going to be great because besides the great barbecue and ribs, mixologist Miles Robinson is going to be brewing up a storm of all the different kinds of cocktails featuring bourbons and whiskeys. Again, VLFoodWine.com. And there's no promo code for the lunchbox. Just buy the ticket and enjoy.
Great. Tropical Acres, man. Unbelievable. It's great being here. Thanks so much for having us, Jack. Special seating here, not open for lunch. You open up, what, 4 o'clock?
4:30.
4:30. Okay, very good. And we'll be back with more sensational array of food here, Mike Mayo. You would have to say.
Thanks to Joe. We're going to do a little musical chairs. We'll get Jackson. Joe, excellent job with all the
Thank you guys.
all the dishes. That pork chop. Man, how tender is that?
It is beautiful. Beautifully done. The prime rib always lives up to its billing. It's hard to do that every time, to always have it be as excellent as it is. And then these new dishes are fantastic. So great job, Jack.
Good.
Incredible stuff. Here at Tropical Acres, we'll be back with more in a moment.
Thank you, guys.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. Serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mexican food with innovative twists, margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar, the place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox, visiting Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. It's just west of the airport, I-95. You can't miss it. It's been here for almost, 75 years. Yeah. Do you have any, anniversary plans, or do you know the exact date? Is it going to be in the summertime?
I know it was April.
Mm-hmm.
So April of 1949.
Okay. Cool.
So it's coming right up. But it's gotten the making plans or special events for it. It kind of got away from us. We talked about it a year ago, and we've talked about it numerous times in between, but we kind of spread ourselves thin. There's 3 or 4 managers, and we have numerous jobs other than
even though it's a dinner only place, you guys are doing banquets and
butcher shop
civic
sales.
Organizations come in for breakfasts and lunch.
Yeah, we just served 4 third-grade classes lunch. It was called an etiquette lunch, where
I love it.
Yeah, they bring them in. We feed them.
Yeah,
there's no charge. And we have our staff. They show them how to tie ties. They show them how to cut chicken, how to put a napkin on their.
I hope they don't show them how to eat like me, because that would be.
He could use his forks next time you have some.
No more than one item on the fork at a time.
Yeah.
But I've got 3 forks going. I don't know.
These were just young people that just have never had that skill or the opportunity.
Yeah.
To learn. Jackson, you were here. Joe. And we watched, and the staff took right to it. And it was the Prestige Club, Polly Wilkie Prestige Club. She orchestrates the whole thing. She gets them in here. They bus them over, and they just have a great time. But those type of community events, we never say no. Now, I mean, South Broward needed food for their band for the summer. We sent food over there every day for their lunch.
Yeah, and your sister was telling me, it's not like he just does the same thing every day and just makes some sandwiches. Like every day you were coming up with a different menu, and he was like,
it was spaghetti and meatballs once.
Yeah,
and it was
that's the type of effort that you put forth, even when you're just doing some
Anything you
charitable work.
do it right.
We
don't do it at all.
There's always
Yeah.
something going on.
We welcome Jackson back to the show. And how are you doing? And how are you holding up this season? It's been I guess, pretty busy one, right?
It is a busy season, and we are. I mean, like Jack said, we're spread thin, but this is what we do. And when we have all the people that's happy to come back, it just makes us get up and want to do it again.
Now, and talk about the typical day, because people think, oh, it's just a dinner place. They roll in a couple of hours, but you guys are prepping all day. What's like the typical day like in terms of what do you have to do in terms of getting the place ready?
Kitchen crew starts.
Yeah, the kitchen crew comes in. You have the office people. So
This is at what time? 10 a.m.,
8 a.m., 9 a.m.
8 a.m., 9 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about 14, 16-hour days for some of you folks. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And people don't realize the amount of, just hours and labor,
When you do
dedication.
everything from scratch, I mean, we got to make the dressing, the blue cheese dressing. We have to make the balsamic vinaigrette. You have to bread the onion rings, cut the zucchini,
The desserts.
do the make crab cakes,
Cream spinach.
stuffing for the stuffed mushrooms.
And you got to start roasting that prime
I mean,
rib.
you got to
right?
check the primer.
we
Primer
really
was in the night
shy
before.
away.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
shy away from further processed food.
Right.
Meaning you could buy it. You can buy seafood stuffing, but we can
make
make
it.
it a lot better. It might
Yeah.
cost a little more, but we get a better quality, better product.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Jackson.
No,
Oh,
no,
you're good.
but so it's prep work all day, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you get getting
And
ready.
then you got to get the dining room ready. You got to check for the banquets. You got to see what servers you have working. You got to do a lineup for the floor, mark your tables, see the reservations.
A little Saturday night. What was set up? What did you arrange for with the reservations?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man.
15 by the window.
We
Go
had-
ahead.
Yeah, we had 15 by the window.
separate
7
checks.
No, don't you start that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Let's Eat group came flashing in my head. All the
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
but you're busy seating people and trying to make everybody happy, and it's quite the task.
It's not that we don't want to do separate checks. It just it complicates things, and we want to make sure that everyone enjoy themselves and have a nice dinner. And doing the separate checks sometimes
Would
interrupts that.
complicate.
Oh yeah.
things,
Oh yeah.
So do you have a cat? Is it like maximum 3 or 2 on a table?
We
or-
could take multiple form of payments. If
Yeah.
if you have credit cards, we'll take credit cards and cash. It's just separate checks becomes.
But
complicated.
aside from that, I mean, you are seating people, and some people like the booth, some people want like
yeah.
the table, and,
It's-
and how is it like on a Saturday night
It's a
when
dance.
when it's 6 o'clock? It's like storming the Bastille. You have all these people come in. What's the secret to keeping people like calm and happy?
We try to accommodate all the needs. You have Mr. Martin that comes in, and we know he likes the 20 row. So table 22, 21 is always reserved for him. And yeah, we have people that they have the table by the number where they want to sit. We have people that want both. We have people that likes table. Some people like one long table. Some people like round tables. So we try to accommodate.
They
the best
make
that we
it-
can.
And do some people request by servers like
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Arthur? Some
Yeah.
people want Arthur. Some
Oh,
people
Joseph.
want Joseph.
Joseph, yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
These people, they're serious here.
And
at
those are the
Defo.
regulars. Those are the people we see often, and we know their wants and needs. And then there's others that call up to make a reservation, and then we might not be that familiar with it, but they tell us, they inform us.
Oh yeah.
I want a half booth, 2 chairs on one side and a bench on the other.
And a
I
child's
don't
chair.
want to sit near the piano.
Yeah.
I want to sit. I mean, there's so many demands, and we try to accommodate them, but it's like you said,
You
so
can't please all. And, what I love about you, Jack, and why I've been a faithful, patron all these years. And, when I was a critic, I wrote glowing reviews. And now, of course, that we're doing this craziness. I do appreciate the support and the sponsorship all these years. But you're one of those guys that you understand that you can't be all things to all people, and that some people you're never going to make them happy. And you know what? There's lots of other places. If they'll be happier there, fine. But you want to take care of your people. And but yeah, I mean, just talk about that whole philosophy, what you learned from your dad in terms
Yeah.
of.
Well, it of course, I like to think it came easy, but I got it in such small doses because I've been here since I was bussing tables at 14.
Okay.
15 doing dishes, 16 cooking, 17, and I'm in high school.
They let you in
That's
at
why-
15?
Yeah, because I'm part of the family.
There you go.
Underage, you can do that.
I knew that was going to come.
But what I went to college, I had no intention of coming into this business.
Really?
My father said, I said, Dad, I didn't like bussing tables and washing dishes. So I'm not going to, but I went, I acquiesced at the end of my career, my college. I did come back and I have no regrets.
And
I love it.
it happened again with
With
your
Joe.
son.
With
How
Joe.
did you, was any torture involved, or was it just
No.
he actually gravitated towards
We should let Joe
I
answer
think-
that.
well, maybe I should let Joe answer that.
that's a good-
Well, I said, you either come to work or forget about ever seeing your mom. Yeah. But,
yeah, well,
but
that's the restaurant biz.
you know,
I mean, you're here
but
all
you-
the time.
people in the restaurant business, there's such a sense of, I get it. I don't know if other people get it. A sense of satisfaction when you come and you plan and it goes pretty close to the plan.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the night, your staff is still kind of beaming and they're satisfied and they have a pocket full of money.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they loved what just happened. Like Saturday night.
It's like it
was a record Saturday night.
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you mean for a season or for like
No,
a non-holiday?
we
or
haven't
just,
done that many dinners. I don't want to tell you, but we haven't done that many dinners on
I want
a
to hear.
Saturday.
I want to hear the number.
in year. I mean, and it was really
So is
Awesome.
north of 1,000, right?
no
Okay.
4 hours.
Okay. Oh, 4 hours.
Well,
All right. it's not the
5:30.
holidays. Okay.
At 9 o'clock. Nobody came in after 9 o'clock.
Right.
So 5 to 9, 4
Well,
hours.
Rush
That's it.
hour.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Yeah, you really
5
do get a
hours.
rush when you're working that. And
Yeah. And they all did just an awesome job. But the planning, we knew the 15 was going in the south, one long row. We knew these two tables were going together for an 8 after we used them once already for a 4 and a 4.
Yeah.
It's quite a
it's like the Bolshoi Ballet, the choreography
and
involved
maybe
in
a little
getting
bit
everybody.
more than that.
Yeah.
And then it changes
Changes right
midstream
there. It changes.
because the 17 on the windows, they're lingering. They're opening gifts now, so
Yeah.
they're not leaving. So our 8 and our 4 that were going there are not going there anymore.
Yeah.
Now we got to put them somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
So
And we got to see that ahead of time that they're not going to get up. So the party
Yeah.
that we had going somewhere else, we have to switch somewhere else.
And what I love about you guys is you do it with eyeballs and intuition.
100%.
Some of these places I go to now, besides like you have to make the reservation online and they're all looking down at their
A tablet,
tablets.
nah.
It's like you guys are old school. You make a reservation by calling 954-989-2500.
we answer it.
You answer it. You take talk to a human being.
Yeah.
You get a sense of what the piece is, what the occasion is.
What are we considering, Jackson? Time limits.
Oh, you're gonna put
We're considering it.
Yeah.
prime time only, like Friday,
Well,
Saturday.
No. Well, yeah, when it's busy.
Yep.
2
2
hours at
hours.
a table.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's fair, and a lot of places do that.
Yeah,
And,
a lot more.
Unless something
Everywhere does
something goes awry, and then you give people more time. But
Yeah,
it's-
if we're slow in moving things along, then it's on us. Then we got to give them more time.
Right. But but I think one of the things that makes an old school place is that sense of not being rushed. But again, you got to turn the tables on a busy night when they're coming in. So I think most people are understanding. I certainly am. But then you have some people who go right onto
No.
the Let's Eat group and
More
start
are
screaming.
understanding than are not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Those are the
it's
silent
knots.
It's a small
that
percentage.
just
The silent
yeah, they're the
majority
loud ones.
is
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah,
and
they're
then you've
definitely
got
louder.
the
But we had Saturday night, we had regulars that came in and saw the situation, said, Jack, don't worry, I can wait. I can wait.
Yeah.
They volunteered to wait. I said 10, 15 minutes. He said, I'm going to go in the bar. Give me 30. That happened
Yeah.
a dozen times. And those are people, I don't forget them.
Right.
You don't forget
Those
that.
are the customers you want. You want to
Yeah.
curate your customer
Yeah.
base and
Well, they
have
say
them pay
20% of your 20%, you have 20%, they generate 50% of your revenue.
and
Yeah.
they tip well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Joe is saying there's some once a week regulars in here, and
once a week.
and I imagine the happy hour people I see once a day people like sometimes
Every
I
day.
come in and I see he was
Happy
here
hour
last
people, we
time.
got people that come in every day.
every day
Every day.
and yeah,
Good.
let's talk about first upcoming Easter Sunday is going to be here before you know it. It's early this year. March 31st is
Yeah.
Easter Sunday, and it's one of the Sundays where you guys are open. So what's on tap for Easter Sunday? What are the hours? Offhand, Jackson. 1 to 7, 1 to 8.
1 to 8.
Okay,
1 to 8.
yeah, the typical holiday
Reservations
Sunday.
are pretty much required.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please make a reservation if you plan on coming in.
954-989-2500. 954-988-2500.
The menu's a little different than what you see every night in the dining room.
They streamline it. Yep.
Abbreviate it.
Yep.
So as to facilitate a little more efficiency.
Mhm.
So instead of 32 items, there might be 18 items.
Right. And they're
But
all
all the
delicious.
popular.
All the popular items.
You'll
Yeah.
get the
Yep.
prime rib. You'll
Prices
have
are not inflated due to a holiday. It's the same prices you pay Monday, Tuesday.
just a streamlined
Yeah,
menu.
Just to make it simpler for the
And-
staff, the kitchen, and the enjoyment of the customer.
Yep.
Now, we mentioned about that you are seeing all, young, the different demographics, date nights. And in keeping with that, I understand that you've got a little bit of some changes coming, that you're keeping the happy hour, which is extremely popular.
Yeah.
Especially with me, because I love those $8 Belvederes, but the martinis. But and also the light bites are really reasonably priced. But something else is going to happen in April.
Yeah, this is something we've been talking about, and it's only because I mentioned earlier food cost. I think every restaurant is battling them, and the easy way is do what the grocers do.
Right.
They just raise the price.
Right.
Screw you, raise the price. Can I say that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
you're
some,
well in
some of
bounds
my
there.
It is- it is said.
some of the markets
I
do
already
it.
said it. Anyway, they raise the price. The price never backs off.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, and unfortunately, some restaurants have to do that.
Right.
Rather than
Some cut
we're-
portion size,
some cut portion size, which it'll come back to bite you,
some cut quality, which
and
is
some cut quality.
That's the
and
worst
that's
way to go.
just- Yeah, those are all the kiss of death.
Yep.
So we're trying to streamline, be more efficient. So starting April, we're going to eliminate the early bird offer. The
Okay.
early bird, it was Monday through Saturday. Recently, we went Monday through Thursday,
Mhm.
eliminated Friday and Saturday, and we got no
little
blowback from it.
okay, because times are changing.
They're
and,
changing.
and
I'm trying to reduce the amount of food I'm putting on the table, or it's helping me avert raising the prices.
Right.
I have to raise the prices, but I don't have to raise them as much if I stop the appetizer that was at
Right.
no charge, the dessert, and the beverage that was no
right,
charge.
the early bird, it used to be just for the first hour that the dining room was open, and you get those little bonus,
Yeah.
those little extras.
Yeah.
But those little extras add up. And the thing is, you're already getting such, this steakhouse, you get with your regular dining room meal,
You
the
get a
salad,
salad
and
and a side.
and the side.
That's nowhere.
And
No,
where
where do you get a salad and a side? I don't know.
No, a la carte is, the phrase of the
It's another
day
20
everywhere
bucks,
else.
yeah.
So
Anywhere else.
you're already getting enough food that I think, according to USDA dietary caloric intake recommendations, you're getting plenty of food with the regular deal.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just going to frame it as there's still a great deal for those who come in early, which is you go to the bar for the happy hour, and that's how you get the early diners. And again, because early bird used to connote, well, like Century Village and the older crowd, and now happy hour has become the new thing at restaurants all over town. And I
Yeah.
think that's what you guys are keeping up with the times.
Excuse
You have
me
a
for
happy hour.
interrupting.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Florida State. I was in school. I was in college, and I'd call home occasionally. And I was talking to my mom, and she says, "Hey, your dad's going to start this thing called Early Bird." This is 1971. This is 1971, and I said, "What's an early bird?"
Yeah.
Now, I mean, 71's a long. Maybe
Yeah.
you guys weren't even around.
I was 5.
Okay, I was in college, so I came back for the holiday, and sure enough, they initiated early birds. So it's that long back. So I think it's run its course.
Yeah.
And it's helped us get through some kind of lean times. But now it's time.
Yeah.
It's
And
time
you have
to,
enough
to make a move.
You have enough other great value propositions here where I don't think it really should be missed, because you have the loyalty reward club card, right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
staying.
That's super.
For every 12 entrees, you get the 13th one on the house up to
Yep.
$35
Yep,
off.
Yep, that's correct.
Then you also have the happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, still Monday through Friday, right?
Half price
So
wine.
half
Yeah.
price
Monday
wine
and
nights.
Tuesday.
Monday. Oh, tonight's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay here and pop a couple of bottles for half
The
price.
wine always
We
tastes
should
better at half
invite him
price.
in.
Buy a couple and bring them home.
At
Yeah.
a staff meeting to
Yeah.
educate the staff. We're always reminding them.
Yeah.
We have a staff meeting every Saturday we all sit down
Yeah.
before dinner and we discuss what we need to discuss,
Right.
whether it's
Specials.
menus or policies or things we're doing incorrectly.
And that's another old school touch that I love, that you get the whole staff together.
Yeah.
Some of these restaurants,
And
you
then
walk
we
in,
break bread.
yeah,
And then
you
we
have
all
a
sit
staff
down and
meeting.
break bread together.
Sometimes I feel I walk into a restaurant and they've just picked off like 3 guys off the street to, work the floor that night.
and
They
it-
don't know anything about the
and it
menu.
shows.
They don't know anything about the
Yeah.
specials. It's like there's
It
no
shows.
training and there's no
Yeah.
communication.
Where
and,
was I last night? I won't say.
Okay,
Don't
don't
say.
say. Don't.
But I was sitting there and I'm looking at these. They had no clue what to
Right.
do.
They just
And there were 2 of them there that had tables. Now I'm doing here. I was here almost. There were 2 of them. They talked for an inordinate amount of time, and they both. I'm looking at their tables. Their tables needed somebody.
right, and they're just.
I wanted to get up and say, "Hey,
You over there.
the 2 on the wall need some attention."
You should pull the Larry
Oh.
David. I don't know if you watch Curb
Oh,
Your
I love it.
Enthusiasm, but when the waiter was like distracted and chit chatting, and his soup was getting cold, he just went up and grabbed the soup off the tray. And-
The work ethic has changed, though,
Oh.
and it's very strange. A lot of restaurants are having problems with it. But I was aware of a restaurant that had a mandatory meeting on a Saturday morning, and half of the people that really needed the instruction and
Didn't
the
show up.
value of the meeting,
There's
didn't
the
show up.
How mandatory was that?
And then they don't show up for work,
Yeah.
with no
But you're
advance
right.
notice
There's
or
a lot
anything.
of-
I mean, it happens a lot
I
of
don't
places.
want to. Again, I don't want to alienate our opinion, but some people, there's certain groups that think they're entitled and don't need to. I don't need
Yeah.
that. Well, wait a minute. You signed up for the job.
Yeah.
You perform the job, or let us instruct you. But you
These
know,
people, they don't show up
that's
and
the
they still
point.
come back to work when they feel like it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
No,
but
they don't come back.
again,
We
you'll
don't.
notice a
They don't
difference
come back
here.
here.
You have
I would imagine.
you have
Yeah.
servers here that have been here on the floor for decades, and again, that's why you have that rapport where people ask for Joseph or Arthur.
Yeah.
Polished pros
Diane,
that
Christy,
will get you from
all of them.
beginning to end.
Laura,
They work as
man,
teams.
Zara, lovely Zara.
Beautiful
How
lady.
many years has she been here?
Oh,
And
man.
it's just amazing. I'm so proud of them, and they
Yeah, over 12.
and
Yeah.
they
You've got a
put
lot to
their,
be
they
proud
put their
of.
heart and soul into it. They don't
Yeah.
just they're not
It
just
makes a
killing
big difference
time.
for the customer.
Yeah.
It really
Hey,
does.
let's take our second and final break. At first, I want to talk about our friends right down the block at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. They're sponsors of the Lunchbox as well, and they've got great product in there for those nights where you don't feel like going out and dining in a beautiful place with a piano and all that stuff. There are days that you just kind of want to chill at home and go to Tropical. You go to Tropical Acres, pick up the butcher shop is open here still from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But of course, if you want some of the seafood and other things, you go to Delaware Chicken Farm, 4191 North State Road 7. It's like this place. It's a perennial. It's iconic. It's been around forever. They've got great service. They've got people who've been there for decades. They'll take good care of you. It's open 7 days. Go online to DelawareChicken.com and just tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Amazing stuff here all the way around. Wow. This butternut squash thing is fantastic. The pork chop is a home run. Would you agree, Mike Mayo? A home run. I think it's opened your
I
eyes to
think-
new adventures here at Tropical Acres.
I might. All right. I'm gonna restrain.
Go ahead, chew on the
No,
bone.
I
You
was
might
gonna
have
pick
to
up the
just down
bone,
the
but
whole
then I
thing, yeah.
realized, if
This
third
is what the
graders,
people want. This
if
is what they
third
want.
graders would put me to
Yeah.
shame with their etiquette class, I've gotta.
You should
kinda-
take the course, but that
Take the course.
should keep you
Hey,
from
Christy
doing what you
teaches
want to
it.
do. Yeah. All right, we're going to come back and wrap up today's edition of the Lunchbox from Tropical Acres, the esteemed Tropical Acres, where Jack Studiale has been exuding class, as they say, for a long, long time. Back in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova, or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiale family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, we're back on the Lunchbox. Get our headsets on. We're with Jack Studiale, Jeff DeForest. We got Mike Lubie on the headset.
Lubie's having a fine time off on the side here.
Yeah, I saw. We actually got him a plate
together.
and he give us your critique.
Well, I wasn't gonna not eat. I mean, look at this. This is fantastic. What's funny is, so you go to weddings, you go to bar mitzvahs. What's the standard beef? Right? There's a beef. There's a chicken. Sometimes there's a fish. Prime rib. Right? My dad's always gotten it. I've never been a big fan because I'd rather just like a nice quote unquote, steak on the grill or something. This place has changed that for me. Leaps and bounds. The way that you guys cook the prime rib, first of all, if anyone cooks it any other way, it would make me sick to my stomach. But that's fine. You can have it more well done. I understand dietary restraints, but man, you really should call it perfect because this is fantastic. The pork chop is spectacular. Like the flavor, it's not only cooked perfectly, but the flavor is
tender.
Like usually you want to dunk it into this or that. I'm a big condiment guy. You've made fun of me for both of you for my use of condiments.
You'd be putting ketchup on both of us.
I would not. No, not on a pork chop. But
Okay,
a
good.
lot of people do the apple. What is it? Apples or apple sauce?
Yeah, you can put
yeah.
sauerkraut, cabbage.
sure.
But,
Sour cream,
I
yeah.
wouldn't do anything to that pork chop. That does not need anything. The cream spinach, same. Like that's what to me is
well seasoned.
what I've learned is a mark of a great restaurant is you get the food, you eat it. You don't add salt, pepper. You don't have to add anything. And that's something that can be said for everything that's been on our table.
I guess that's a rave
That says
review
it
from
all.
Lubie there. So,
Yeah, that's a
and-
brilliant testimonial there from Lubie.
and what was your
And
critique?
he wasn't going to have to pay anyway. I mean,
Oh, and the butternut squash
yes,
ravioli is
the new
wonderful.
ravioli,
It's
yeah.
really nice. I'm actually, hopefully we can leave that so I can bring that to my wife because she does like her pastas. I do like the combination of the creaminess, but with the little sweetness of the
sweet
butternut.
tinge.
of
And that's why I think it would
squash.
make a great side dish with something like the pork.
Be a nice appetizer
you
or
know,
a side dish. Yeah.
the more savory seasoned meat dishes. You have a little butternut squash with your tinge of sweetness, Defo, and you're in business. And again, you get some of the scallops for those who like the seafood. Now they've got options for the vegetarians out there. And is it vegan or
No, that's a cream.
Not the
I mean,
cream
it's a
sauce.
vegetarian. But the other thing, look, shrimp scampi, I guess, is an old standby, quote unquote. But a lot of the times I don't get scampi because that's where they throw the really small shrimp. Like
these are plump and
these are not that.
Beautiful,
Like
yeah.
the shrimp is a meal,
U15s.
and you could eat 1 or 2 shrimp with some pasta and be good. The portions, the price. Honestly, I find it funny that this is quote unquote. When you were posting it? This could go either way. It's a tropical
polarizing,
polarizing
because there's so many people out there.
I think that's so asinine about this place because this should be the opposite.
Well,
like
it became my running joke, and much to Jack and Terry's credit, they get it. That I love the place, but I understand that some people, okay, it's not for everybody. But when some people post about Tropical Acres on the Let's Eat South Florida group, 144,000 strong now, there are some people who are very vocal of loving it, and some maybe who
You
don't.
should remind them all that this should be the standard by which all other places are judged.
Exactly.
And
Well,
always,
wait a minute.
all
You're
I
sitting right
say,
next to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do our darndest to make everything right.
yeah,
Fair as human.
and it makes me
Seldom,
crazy.
but
When people
sometimes
say, when they say, oh, they overcooked my steak, I said, well, what they
Did
say
you
when you
tell them?
told them that it was improperly cooked, because I'll be honest, it's happened to me here, but I'm not shy about saying it's this didn't come out to order, and then Joe whisks it away, and then the cooks start trembling. No, but it's they do it right. They want
Always
to
very
get it.
accommodating.
Yeah, no,
always.
it's everything is done. That if you want something, just speak up. The
Yep.
time to talk
It's
is when you're
now.
at the table at the time of service, not 2 days later on social media, because you guys
well, nothing you can fix.
will
Then.
make it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, so
75 years, man.
I think that's
Unbelievable.
amazing. Mazel
Great
tov,
job,
guys.
Jack Studiale, and a terrific display here for lunch today. That was unbelievable. Big hits with everything. We wish you nothing but the best, and another 75 years. I mean, to follow, it would be amazing. That's for
moving
sure.
along with the
Yeah.
modern times, always adjusting, always adding, changing. It's good to see. And again, I love coming in here. And the true testament to it is my 18-year-old daughter loves coming in here. So Tropical
She's
Acres,
lovely.
Who doesn't like great food at a great value and a terrific
Exactly.
atmosphere? If you're opposed to that, then you should
then
go out to
fine.
eat.
Go,
Yeah,
that's it. Good luck
Well,
finding
and great
someplace
service.
that does it better.
What does that say about a place
Yeah.
that has servers that are there 12, 14,
Yeah.
15 years?
We've got
That's a positive.
generations of families, and then the parents, and then their children, then their children had children. They're coming in. They're coming in as regulars, and now they got kids.
Right.
I mean, we've been here a long time.
It means they're doing
a
not
beautiful
just
thing,
something
yeah.
right. They're doing most things right, almost everything right.
It's a pleasure
Tropical
to be here. Yeah,
Acres.
absolutely great.
Always a
great
pleasure.
Job.
Thank you so much for the hospitality, as usual, Jack.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Tremendous job.
Joe,
Tremendous.
Good to see you.
Jackson, the
Good
whole
to see you
staff
too.
here. Come on in here. You'll see them. They're open every day for dinner. I'm sorry, except Sunday, Monday through Saturday, every day except Sunday for dinner. But Easter Sunday is available. Make your reservations now. And again, happy hour in the bar. It starts in a few hours, 4:30 to 6:30,
May as well just
Monday
stick
through
around.
Friday. I might just pull up a chair right now, start ordering that half-price wine, and just stay all day. But
Awesome.
I will make room for others, though. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thanks to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow from a special Visit Lauderdale edition from an undisclosed backyard in Coral Springs, where the Big Green Egg Meister Ron Dimfelmeyer will be hosting us for tomorrow's show. Until then, it's Mike Mayo saying enjoy every prime rib, ravioli, pork chop, and enjoy every sandwich.
Yeah.